My name is Jodi and my daughter Alexis went to Lighthouse Autism Center. When Lighthouse came into our community, this was one of the newer programs offered in our area. And actually our friends, the Lindemans, they were already attending Lighthouse, and we were at a point with education where it was a stalemate. We weren't really sure what we were going to do as far as giving her the best possible education that was out there. We were very limited with what was offered. And so when Lighthouse came in, I have a brother that has his master's in developmental psychology. And so I kind of picked his brain about ABA and the benefits. And so when Lighthouse came into the community, it was a no-brainer for us. And it was just a matter of making sure that we were able to get in. So we were the original group. And so Lexi was number 11 when she entered the center. The environment and the team at Lighthouse, it was just a big family, and we felt like going in, she was always going to be taken care of. There was no question about her safety, which was something that we consistently worried about with her. But when we went there, there was just this whole sense of community between not only the clinicians, but also the children and the families, because we all became incredibly good friends. We made our own little village, and they did what was best for our child. I can remember when we first came in, we had to bring in staples from the house for Lex to make it a home for her, just to make sure that she felt that this was a safe place for her. And it kept her grounded in the sense that I'm okay here. And as soon as they started finding Lexi's likes and dislikes, she flourished. I mean, she just took off. So that sense of family was huge for us. She blew us away with what she was able to do skill-wise with the help of all the clinicians. Most of them were self-help skills, being able to do the things that most kiddos could do naturally. Getting dressed was a very big goal that we wanted to see that she could do, and she can now. One of my favorite memories of Alexis was we got a video during the day, and Lexi was putting on her socks independently, and that was just unbelievable for us because that was something that we didn't even think was possible. And to watch our daughter sitting with her legs crossed, being very minimally prompted, she was doing the task, and it was incredible just to see, like, she's doing it, she's doing these things. And you know, that's all we wanted, were just the small goals at first. The clinical team supported us by communication. For the most part, it was a give and take. They would ask questions, they would let us know our progress. We met frequently, if not just on phone call, email, face-to-face, and it was an ongoing dialogue, making sure that her needs were met every which way, either from here, what they were seeing of a need, or from something that we were communicating as a need or a want. It was always something that was a very fluid conversation between the two. Supporting our family at home came from the level of communication. They were able to express to us what needed to take place and to demonstrate for us how to do those things to attain the best outcomes for Alexis. A specific memory that sticks out to me, and I was thinking about this morning, one of the things with Alexi that's the most challenging, I think, for an educator is the fact that with Lexi, she's pretty self-sustaining. She doesn't need an intervention. She doesn't want to be around other people. She is very happy in her own little world, and she will isolate herself, and she will be very complacent doing those things. And so when we were in a regular school format, it was very easy when the programming that Lexi was in a public school sector, because she was the easy kid. She would just do her own thing. She wasn't bothering anybody. They let her go. And she had minimal interactions with the other children or the adults. For us, we couldn't wait to see what would happen socially. And I have this unbelievable memory of the girls. It's gonna make me cry because it's so sweet. We came to a Christmas party, and Lexi and her best friend Jen and another one of the girls, there was a dance party because Ginny had her dance parties. And the three girls walked out together, hand in hand, dancing. It was absolutely, I mean, amazing. Just an answer, because we didn't know she'd ever make those kind of friendships. With us, the ABA system, what they could offer for our daughter was, again, bringing her out of her own isolation. We had the one-on-one contact, and that was so essential for her growth and development. You know, when you're in a school format, you have a classroom full of between 6 and 12 kids. With Alexis, she could just blend in. She wasn't going to stick out. She had her 5 or 10 minutes a day where that teacher got that one-on-one time, which as an educator, I know how challenging that is, but it just isn't enough. And with ABA, you've got a program that's designed, and it's different than just an IEP. You have, with the parents, with the team, this pinpointed, targeted, this is what's going to happen, and this is what's going to take place, and this is how we're going to obtain those things. And it's not like, through the course of the year, this might happen. This is going to happen because that's where our target lies. And you've got a team behind her that's rotating and everybody's on the same page, and it's a one-on-one process where she doesn't have the opportunity to escape into her own little world and neglect those things. And I think ABA, bar none, I mean, it's what kids need to get out of that isolation and to have, she needed someone in her face. She needed someone with her one-on-one to tell her, this is what you need to do, this is how we do it. Repetition, 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 making sure that no one dropped the ball. And doing ABA for us was the best thing she could have done. Lexi's great. She is 25. Lexi enjoys hanging out with her best friend. We walk with one of the girls that we knew before, but our friendship really maxed itself out completely over the years being at Lighthouse. And Katie and I have reconnected with the girls, and we go to Riverwalk and they hang out and we walk as often as we can. Lexi enjoys swimming. We have a pool at home, a swim spa. She's in the pool every day. We go out all the time. She and I are the girls about town. We go to the zoo, we go to the park. Lexi can do anything. I mean, there's nothing that holds her back. The benefit ABA has is the opportunity to give that child that isolation of a skill and a task and stay with it until there is mastery or some semblance of that. Whereas in a classroom environment, when we don't have a structured program like ABA, we're not able, and I'd love to say that we could reach all of our kids in that capacity. When you have a classroom from 22 to 30 kids, it is absolutely impossible to have the same programming that ABA can offer. We're talking 22 kids who are vying for your attention the entire time versus a one-on-one instructional base, that skill set, and we work on skill sets, but it's a very different, it's fine-tuned. It's fine-tuned to the fact that that's what that child needs in that precise moment. And as a teacher, we're not always allowed to veer off and say, this is what this child needs right now, right this second. ABA gives you that specialized one-on-one that allows you to be able to pinpoint and target at any given time, because things change and things are fluid with our kiddos. You can't just say, oh, we're gonna just work on this skill today. We're in a larger sector, in a classroom setting, we're not always able to deviate. You know, you've got 1 or 2 kiddos versus 22. It doesn't work that way, it just doesn't. So ABA definitely helps to improve that for those children. Please be patient and know that your team is going to get you where you need to be. And there may be bumps in the road, but those small, tiny steps are the ones that are going to get you to the top of that mountain. One little step at a time, and have faith in the program, because it does work, it does. ABA impacted Lexi's life by giving her an opportunity. And that's the best way I can say it. It just, for her, it was an opportunity to be the best version of herself that she could possibly be. If you're going from a school setting to an ABA setting, it's apples and oranges. I mean, you can't compare the two. You have instructional based learning that's a one-on-one prescription just for your child. It is so fine-tuned. It is reflective of what that child specifically needs every single moment they walk in the door. Instead of being in a larger scale classroom where we can only visit that skill once or twice a day, when in an ABA format like Lighthouse, that child has someone with them one-on-one, in their space, in their face, isolated, and it's all about them, just them. And the gains are beyond what we could ever fathom. I mean, we can't reach kids the same way in a large-scale environment. They're going to learn, they're going to gain the skill sets that we want from them if given that opportunity.